And we are live. I had to phrase that as a question because I was trying to find where the button was to transfer everything. Why is my camera low? I'm going to blame Evie. It was definitely Evie's fault. I don't know why. She's probably playing with wires again. So, how are all of you?
Good.
Waking up.
Yep.
Yeah, waking up.
I've been up for hours doing chores and errands, so
That was my plan. And then my body decided I wasn't allowed to sleep until 5 a.m. So hence why we're starting a little late today.
I blame Zoro.
I don't think it was Zoro's fault.
It was for me.
Ah.
What is my fault?
Because you host such enticing games at midnight, my time.
Your fault for signing up and staying up so late. That's on you. Also, thank you.
So, Sugarlove will not be here today. They're fighting off a little bit of food poisoning. So, Juniper will be off on the sidelines watching everybody else stumble through the forest. Sort of like what Nerix did the last episode.
Wanda.
Trying to find music. I have way too many Sirenscape things, by the way. I need to like cut them down and begin to like restructure them so I only have 4 instead of 12. But the last time that we left off, the group began to, well, it started off more back at the camp that the group had found as they were talking to the satyr-like creature that had identified themselves as Syra and was spinning a tale about how the world had already been saved and that they were just enjoying a moment of respite with with the rest of their group when they were pulled into this world, and began to try to convince Syra and the rest of the group that something was wrong. While this was going on, Juniper came back to the group, sort of alerted a couple of you as they stepped on a nearby branch, alerting both Ali and Syra as they were talking to one another, separated from Reiju and the satyr. While this was going on, the satyr began to try to spin lies to Syra, trying to Reiju, trying to convince Reiju that everyone was against them, that this wasn't real, that they were trapped, and they needed to kill the rest of the group in order to escape. I keep on saying Syra. I'm sorry, my brain is not working today. Reiju saw through these lies and then decided instead that they were going to do a bit of a self-immolation and casted a fireball point blank on them. They got rid of the wood-like creature for the time being. Reiju took a little bit of damage, but wasn't really too worse for wear. And you began to make your way through the forest afterwards. Going down the paths, there always seemed to be sort of 2 options before you. There was a path that was a little more rough and tumble. There were vines and branches and everything, you know, that would catch your feet or trip you. And then there was a clear footpath. Syra, not really trusting the whole idea of this clear footpath in a forest that was obviously trying to kill you, began to go through the more difficult terrain, and you found yourself in a grove covered with like this just dense fog, almost as if there were mushroom-like spores in the air. As you began to explore the area, you came across a giant that had been infected with this sort of mushroom-like parasite. A battle began. You were able to fell the giant and take down the large mushroom growth that was seemingly controlling it. And as you did, the little dome-like spores on the mushroom itself burst open, and a large amount of a large amount of bodies that were in various states of decay had fallen out of these spore pods. And that is where we left off, and that is where we are going to pick up, as the bodies have pretty much landed at your feet and in various positions around this giant, now dead fungal growth. The bodies themselves, their clothing seems to be still intact. It doesn't really seem to have any sort of decay or any signs of time passing, though the bodies themselves range from bodies that may have just entered like the rigor mortis stage of death to full-on skeletons. So their clothing varies from person to person. It doesn't seem like they all belong to one group or to one collective. They seem to may have been random travelers or just a stray adventuring group that got lost along the way.
I'm gonna step back for a moment. Reju's gonna just kind of step to the side, let others get to the bodies, and she's going to use her armor's other ability, which is to once a day restore ki equal to a d4 roll. Is 3.
Do the bodies look like they're different from the other ones we've been finding that look more like wood? These look more like they've been taken over by some fungus.
Aside from
natural decay, or
aside from the fact that they were stuck inside the fungal mound itself, there doesn't seem to be any sort of fungal growth on their bodies. And some of them are in various states of decay, while others have completely decayed into skeletons. But the gear and the clothing and everything that they have on them is still preserved, almost as if it had been like frozen in time while they were in those spore pods.
And they're still in the spore pods right now?
No, when you killed the giant growth, the pods sort of burst open and the body sort of just like tumbled out. There's probably about like 15 bodies in total.
Can I do a I'd like to cast detect my first level detect poison and disease, and that allows me to, from myself out 30 feet, I can detect the presence and location of poisonous creatures and diseases within 30 feet of me. I can also identify the kind of poisonous creature or disease. So I just kick that off before anyone goes. I stop my group from anyone touching these bodies until I can get a sense if they're gonna be, harmful to us in terms of poison and disease at least. Okay. Do they radiate anything? Does any of that come back to my senses?
So the bodies themselves don't necessarily seem to have any sort of poison or disease about them. Their various states of decay seem very natural. but the air itself, it's now waning as you've been like as the growth itself has been defeated. But there was a faint trace of poison in the air.
In the air, but it's faint
It's faint and fading.
and fading. Okay.
Almost as
Do
if
I-
like you killed the mushroom and it's stopped producing the poison in the area.
So I get the sense that, and let me know if I need to do a roll in addition to this, but I'm trying to get a sense for the amount of poison I'm feeling. If it feels like it's a safe amount to approach, is it an approachable amount that won't damage my companions?
At the moment,
Or
yes.
do we need to wait?
No, it's now like the levels of poison that are in the air are minimal. Like unless you were to spend like hours, like directly next to this growth, there's no chance of any sort of infection or any sort of damage being done to your body.
Okay, I'll turn to the rest of the group then and say, well, feel free to search those bodies if you choose. I think we're fine as long as we don't make camp here. The poison seems to be dissipating.
Poison doesn't bother me much.
Oh yeah, you're completely immune to poison now, aren't you?
I'm completely immune.
Does
But
anyone
if
want to check
everyone's
them
feeling
for...
uncomfortable, I could definitely check it.
Yeah, they might have some useful supplies or whatnot. I'll keep an eye out. Also, I'd like to take a moment to summon a friend to assist us should we need one. And well, Nerik's most likely, and I don't know who else might be examining the bodies. I'm just gonna keep an eye out, and I'm also gonna use I'm gonna expend one of my wild shapes to call on a fey companion, and I call up a cat, a fey cat.
Okay.
Who's got glowing purple eyes and is completely black in hue, like a shadow cat, but with like luminescent purple eyes.
So they would be completely stealthy in the dark, aside from the giant searchlights for eyes they have.
They kind of, yeah, but like it kind of flashes, like it fades to where it looks like almost just like a really dark purple, and then when they want to, it can kind of flare up when they want to let themselves be known.
Gotcha.
They're good at stealth. They got a +4.
The little cat sort of just appears next to you and just takes a seat and wraps its tail around its legs, just waiting for orders and just observing the area.
And they last for, I think it said 5 hours. So it'll be with me for 5 hours.
Does the cat speak any languages, or is it just a cat?
I think it's just a regular familiar, so I speak to it telepathically.
Okay.
So you can determine if you want that to be an actual voice or if it's just like we communicate through images. I basically let it know what I want, and it can respond to that. It doesn't, the spell itself doesn't specifically say it can understand or speak verbal language.
I gotcha.
Let me look at the find familiar spell again, because I believe it's just like a telepathic bond. You can communicate with it telepathically. Yeah, that's all it says. It doesn't say anything about it. Like if one of my companions were to talk to it, it would probably just react like a cat.
Okay. I didn't know if I didn't know if I had to, start working on a smart ass Cheshire cat voice in order to start sassing the group anytime they started talking to it or not.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's quite that sophisticated. It's not like a warlock's familiar or something like that. It's like more of just a little fey creature I can summon every now and then.
Okay.
I mean, your call. If you want to go for it, go for it. But
If I was more awake, I most definitely would.
Yeah. Maybe with time he'll feel more.
Yeah,
safe.
maybe with
Summon him a
maybe
couple
with time he like the
Yeah.
dungeon master will wake up.
So I just summoned that little cat, and right now I give it instructions to just hop on my shoulder and help me keep an eye out.
Okay. He does like a little wispy jump up to your shoulder and just sits there. It's sort of like its tail's on the other side of your neck.
Just giving him scritches. All right, that's all I'm gonna do. What is the rest of the group gonna do?
I'm gonna go over the bodies at the same time as Nerix does, but I'm not searching them for equipment. And I'm trying not to touch them if I don't have to, just because, gross dead bodies. But I want to look for the freshest one and see if I can figure out how they died.
Sure. So, and Nerix, you're just like browsing the bodies for equipment and whatnot.
She might not be able to talk.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, sorry. Nope, I just came back from putting her down. Sorry.
All good. All
Sorry.
good.
Okay. Oh, camera. Please stop. There we go. Okay. We're good now.
Fuzzies.
Autofocus is the enemy.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, no, I was just gonna search the bodies and kind of see what I can find, especially since I could just breathe this all in and be totally fine. Granted, it's not at harmful levels at the moment, but still.
The classic blood hunter flex at this level, just walk into a poison cloud and take a deep breath.
Oh, smells like breakfast. Right. Okay, and it looks like did Roll20 just crash on me? Roll20 just crashed on me. What the hell?
No investigation for you.
Oh, thank God for D&D Beyond. Okay, I can at least do this. Okay, so just do just a investigation.
Yeah, if you're just sifting through the bodies for any cool stuff, yeah. And then Callie, you can give me a medicine check on the freshest body.
If I said that, any cool stuff. Okay. That's not terrible. 15.
Okay.
Not a good roll.
So Nerix, as you begin to like sift through the bodies and everything, you notice that at some point in time the bodies themselves have been stripped of anything that looks valuable. On some of the fresher bodies you can see indentations on the fingers and whatnot where there were rings, different like various shiny like buttons or pins or whatnot that were on their clothing have been pulled off. Anything that looked to have any sort of value or any sort of interest to it have been stripped from them, leaving just pretty much the mundane.
Okay. Just kind of finish searching one by one. Before, are there any more of those? This is the area where like there was a bunch of like the mushrooms and spores and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah, the giant fungal growths.
Is there any way I could harvest some?
At the moment, not anymore, because since
Okay.
you killed this growth, the area seems to be reverting. There doesn't seem to be that purple haze in the air anymore, and any signs of like the corruption have like started to like recede.
Okay. In a way is a good thing. But yeah, okay. We'll just finish up while everyone else kind of does what they want to do, but anyone can tell with her body language that she's like, mundane stuff. Just,
Okay. And Kelly, what'd you get on that medicine check?
Solid 6.
Solid 6. You really can't put your finger on it, but you know they're dead.
Oh, maybe that's my problem. I'm trying not to put my fingers on it.
Yeah, just giving it like a once over with your eyes. Can't really, aside from it's dead, the cause of death and like the time of death escape you.
Alright,
No.
I'll just kind of poke around them a bit and kind of like cringe a little bit and wander off.
Just out of curiosity, none of their clothes that these corpses are wearing kind of like signals what kind of job they had or anything?
You can give me a history check for that.
Okay. That is going to be a dirty 20.
30-20. So from the looks of it, there are like a vast majority of those that are in this pile seemed at one point or time to have been a part of one adventuring group or the other. They like while anything of value had been stripped from the bodies, you could still see that some of them are still wearing their armor and they've got like mundane weaponry still on them. There are a couple. There are about 2 skeletons that seem to at some point in time have belonged to maybe some sort of druidic clan that was in the forest, as they still have their the druidic garb preserved, but again, anything that would have been of value or of use has been removed. And then there are about 4 of them that sort of catch your eye, as they are dressed in the robes of the monastery that you were trained at. The markings on the robes themselves seem to point to them being of the scholar sect of it.
She actually stumbles a bit when she sees that. Like audible. Oh no.
Something wrong?
Yeah. I didn't know them personally, but I recognize those vestments anywhere.
Are they
The Stranger
from?
Monastery?
Yeah.
That's the ticket. And she'll walk up. I would assume any scrolls they had or any kind of literature they had are just gone.
Yeah,
at this
pretty
point.
much.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reiju.
Uh,
Can we
I would-
assist with any burial rites you might want to do for these people?
Not at the time. I don't think we have that kind of luxury at the moment.
I can make some things go quickly. Depends on what it is.
She's gonna bend down and actually like collect their sashes if they're still intact.
Yeah, the most of the garments themselves are still completely intact. It was only anything that would have been of value to them that has been removed.
Yeah, luckily the value is opinionated when it comes to monks. All right, perfect. She'll collect those, and none of them were dragonborn skeletons or anything, right?
Go ahead. It's pretty easy to determine a dragonborn skeleton, as its physiology is vastly different. But no, there are no dragonborn skeletons among them. Judging from just at a brief glance, these monks were they look to be in the size range of like a human, a half elf, an elf, one of like the more traditional like medium-sized races.
Okay. Um,
Are the monks all like skeleton and decayed, or is there any of them that look fresh?
No, they are skeleton. There is no signs of rotted flesh or anything on them. They've been here for a while.
Oh, okay.
yeah, this was probably a missionary group that was trying to learn something about this place and just had a very bad day. So yeah, she'll like when we came across our giant friend in the desert, like our first few days in the desert, she will plant her sword in the ground and do a little prayer for them before turning away and just being by herself.
Well, oh, how long have we been traveling for?
Since you got here,
Because I think we've been traveling since going through the gate, right? I don't think we've rested in the forest.
you haven't rested in the forest, no. So it was hard to get a grasp on time because the canopy itself was sort of blocking your sight, but now you could see, as like some of the trees aren't as thick here up in the sky, it's getting to be later in the day. You know, you maybe have like another hour till sundown.
All right. It's dangerous enough to travel through this land during the day. At night, I imagine it would be doubly so. We should probably start looking for a place nearby to make camp. I don't want to stay close to this spot, though.
Yeah, somewhere away from all the death.
Yes. So let's when Rager's
For
ready,
you guys.
let's move on.
I'm ready. I'm just taking my batteries off.
You don't need a moment?
No, I didn't know them personally after all.
Alrighty.
All right. I'm gonna send Kat out ahead. I'm gonna send Kat like probably 60 feet ahead of us down the path. So if I remember correctly, we had reached a T and the giant was on one side of the path, and then there was another path that led more towards the direction we actually wanted to go.
Yes.
So I'm gonna turn and start heading backtracking to the T to continue on the direction that we were initially gonna go. And I'm sending Kat out about 60 feet ahead of me, and I'll turn to Callie and ask, I'm gonna put my senses through Kat so I can kind of see and hear what she sees and hears. But I'll be kind of like, I won't be able to sense my own shit. So could you put a hand on my shoulder and kind of just guide my body forward, and if I trip, help me up?
Yeah, I can do that. I know what it's like because I can do that with Ruger, right? So I
Yeah,
can help
yeah.
guide you.
Same thing. Yeah. I'm just gonna let Kat do it. So I'll send them forward. I just call them Kat because we haven't had time to develop an understanding of each other's names. They
You,
just refer to me as Druid in telepathy.
yeah, you know, first day on the job, you're not going to remember that person's name.
Yeah, so we have to get used to each other, figure each other out first. So yeah, I'm gonna look through Kat's eyes. They get a +3, I believe, to perception. Let me look that up again. Yeah, +3 to perception and +4 to stealth. So they are kind of stealthily moving down the path, and trying to keep an eye out for a good camp location and any dangers. That's the instructions I gave it. They have a speed of 40 feet and a climbing speed of 30 feet. Right now, I'm gonna keep her on the ground level though, away from And she knows to kind of, I gave her instructions to be careful and wary of the vines and the trees, to not stay too, pause too long in one spot.
Okay. So I'm not going to make you roll for this because it's by the time Cat comes around the corner and everything, it's quite obvious as there is another fungal growth near like the upper like the northwestern part of this forest, though it doesn't seem to be, I guess you would call it, say, active. The coloring on it seems a bit off. It isn't like this bright vibrant pink as like the spores and everything on the other one, where it's more of a very dull gray, almost devoid of like all color.
I'm going to give Kat instructions to get a closer look at that area and the pods. So she kind of hops and paws around, looking, trying to see if there's something like the giant or some other creature that's was tied or is tied to that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation roll for Cat.
For Cat. Okay. Oh, Cat is not that smart. Cat is perceptive. Nope, that is going to be a hard nope. I'm below negative numbers.
Oof.
So, yeah. I have a -4 intelligence.
So investigating the area, there's nothing really that seems to stand out. Though I could say there are no giants or anything in the area. While the other ones seemed like, even the vines and whatnot that have like come up out of the ground itself seems to have decayed in a way, giving you
having a hard time staying focused.
Yeah, giving you a sense that this mound is probably dead or dormant.
Okay. I'll say to the group as we're walking, shortly ahead there's another growth similar to the one we found before, but this one's dead. Cat doesn't seem to see much, but they keep getting distracted by grooming, so I can't really tell. But it seems like it's dead. Everything's gray. I don't know if we want to just keep moving on or if we want to stop and take a closer look at that. It's another pod type situation.
Are there more bodies near it?
I can't tell. I don't see anything through Cat, but like I said, they keep getting distracted by cleaning.
Well, I imagine there'd be more scattered about, so I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Do we keep on ahead?
For now, yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah, I don't want to like accidentally wake it up or something.
That's another thing.
I'll instruct Cat to keep moving down the path past the pods.
Okay. So Cat goes a little past the pods, and comes to an archway of trees that again just has like this soft blanket of fog sort of blocking vision beyond it.
There's a kind of, it's almost like an archway of trees, and then everything gets white. Like there's immense fog that blocks every vision of ahead. I don't know if I like that. Maybe we should make camp somewhere on this side of the fog? Thoughts?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like an inviting thing. But then also, I've never been in a forest before, so I don't know how much of this is normal.
None of this is normal.
Does the fog, do I get any sense of anything from the fog? Like, does it feel like it's just normal forest ground level fog, or is it like a white sheet, like a wall of fog?
It's like a wall of fog to where
Okay.
it looks like, the way I'm going to describe it is, you know, probably not something Syra would even understand because Syra's never been near the ocean, but it's like that thick soupy fog that you would see like on a port.
The marine layer.
Like that, just a very thick marine layer to where you can barely see like a foot in front of you.
Okay. It doesn't seem normal for a forest. Seems rather thick. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling. We can push ahead, but like I said, we really need to find a spot for camping. Maybe we should look around in this area beforehand
Yeah, 'cause
ourselves.
I'm feeling pretty worn out from everything earlier, so I don't really want to stir up any more trouble than we have to.
Do we see just in the immediate? I'm gonna go back to my own senses, and I'll tell Kat to kind of come back to us on its own. But can we look around ourselves to see if there's like an area close by that might be good to make camp?
There is a part of the clearing near like the southwestern side that looks like the other two areas where the fungal growths were at, to where it seems that it was just carved out and pushed away just to give it an opening. This opening is here, but there is nothing inside of it. It's just a clear like half circle.
Okay, this looks good. As good as we're gonna get, probably.
As long as it can
Alright.
fit the home.
I don't know
Be
if we're gonna
alright.
find anywhere we can fit the home, but is it big enough for the home?
It's big enough for the home.
Okay.
Issue will pull up the capsule. Click.
So you click
Yay.
and you throw it, and it goes donk donk donk,
Oh no, it doesn't fit, or it
and
doesn't work.
it just sits there.
Did you do it right? Did Snit tell you how to do it? I've never done it before. Did you get the right button? There's buttons, right? Buttons are a thing with what he makes.
Is our house broken?
Reju thinks for a moment. It's like, no, that wouldn't be the reason why it wouldn't work. And just picks it up.
So as you go over to pick it up, you reach down, your hand wraps around it, and your head just thunk bumps into something solid.
She'll, still holding it, she'll read back on the
What?
just kind of reaches out.
And as you reach out, you your fingers touch some sort of like solid, invisible mound. This mound is wet and almost, as you pull your hand back, you can see you can see strings of like mucus sort of pull with it. And whatever is right there is breathing, almost sounding as if it's asleep.
She goes to do the finger quiet motion, but it was like switches hands.
Do we see mucus on his hand? On her
Yeah,
hand?
when Reiju pulls her hand back, you could see just like these thick, long strings of like this yellow greenish mucus sort of pull off of it.
What?
I want to lick Reggie's finger.
Oh, right.
Are you immune to infections?
Yeah, actually.
Diseases, yeah.
But before you
Diseases and poisons.
go eating clearly diseased and poisoned stuff,
Because you can.
We haven't had a long rest since
Yeah.
our level up yet.
This
so we
is
don't
true.
have our
So you're
level
not
10
Yeah.
you're not immune to poison yet.
No,
Yep.
I've been immune since level 7.
Okay, I just wanted
okay.
to make sure.
See, I thought it was
No,
level
no.
10.
Been immune
Yeah,
this whole time, guys.
Level 7's
Been immune for a while.
Yeah, we just haven't had you around in a while to really confirm that.
I
so.
just wanted to make sure. Lick away.
No, I appreciate that. This has been a thing for me since level 7, so I'm fine.
This will, however, be the first time that you've licked Razor. She will go, what? As you go,
It's just her way. She doesn't mean anything by it.
No,
I'm gonna
it's fine.
smell
It's
and
just,
analyze it.
it's just a
See,
weird
she's
feeling.
If you're
sniffing
going
now.
to go ahead and give me a survival roll.
I'm doing a Yukon Cornelius thing where I like
Yep.
survival roll.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
Nix,
well-
you don't have to taste it. I could have done a spell.
And yet this is some ways for us to determine what this is. This is all stage whispering, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Actually, does the ring work right now? The
Your
don't
ring,
work?
your rings work. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The thing wouldn't go because something's in the way that we didn't
Another
see.
reason why she wanted it as an earring, why she converted it into an earring, so she could just like whisper and it's like walkie-talkie status instead of her going, ah. She's like, I need my hands. I always need to use my hands.
To be fair, you don't even have to hold your hand up to talk into it. As long as you have it on, when you talk, it's broadcast to everyone else. It's just all of you just do this, like, you know, it's like some secret Dakota ring or something.
Sorry, doesn't
Don't-
understand.
don't-
She's gonna
Don't
Dakota ring
break
it
that.
anytime.
I think this was
Break
like
that illusion of us doing power
Yeah.
rings.
who was it that came up with the rings idea? By the way,
I think it
was,
was Snit, wasn't it?
yeah, if it was
No,
Snit,
it- oh, no.
Pretty sure that was his
His
Clay.
His
bar.
clay thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
I still
if that's
have
the
my
case, then
clay.
it makes sense for him to want
I know,
to
I do
think
too.
it's that, even though it
I
might
know
not
what I want.
actually be that.
I don't know either. We need
I
to.
still
You
don't
all
know
just
what I
saw-
want, 'cause I could do anything.
You all just saw Snit doing it one day, so that's all. You all do that because that's how you think it works.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
For a bunch of
It's
lemmings.
25 for survival.
So you taste this mucus, and it's not revolting. It's got a very like earthy taste to it, enough to where but though, like, as you taste it, your tongue begins to sort of tingle, and for like a moment it goes numb for just, and then it returns. But you then feel like something's starting to like creep up into your mind. And for like a brief moment, there's like a connection that's made between you and whatever this thing is sleeping. But it's like, as soon as it's there, it's gone.
Enjoying your snack, sister?
I'm just trying to figure out what it is that is napping here
And
because it's taken up our space.
as that connection is made, there's a bit of a groan coming from this invisible creature, as you can begin to see it move, as its invisibility is less of complete invisibility and more of just a cloak, as when it moves you can see it bending the light, as you begin to see the outline of like just like this large quadruped like creature, and the light cloak begins to peel back from it,
I hide.
Hello?
and like just like these large massive like tree trunk like legs begin to be revealed, as you can see that they're just these thick, like twisted and gnarled fungal like body parts with small polyps of mushrooms and just like slime kind of like oozing down its
It's not invisible anymore?
like as it moves and it starts to get up, that like little light cloak that it had begins to peel away,
Okay.
and it slowly begins to like reveal more and more of itself, until it's standing in front of you is about a 10-foot tall myconid like being,
Hello.
so completely quadruped, almost the size, almost like the build and the size of like a dire bear, but completely mushroom.
Nobody make any sudden movements.
Wait a minute. Have I seen one of these before?
I don't think
Not
you
just-
have.
Not
You've
just
seen
size,
bears. You know what a bear
Well,
is.
Well, the thing is, like, when we went down underground
Mhm.
after the jackdaws, we saw
Yep.
the quadrupeds down there.
You saw the myconids down there.
Right.
So
And-
it
Is
looks
this
similar.
just a larger version?
Yeah, a much larger version.
Oh,
And it
puppy?
sort of looks you over and sort of gets in the face of Nirix and gives just gives a little huff and sprays like this little soft spore, like little soft cloud of blue spores in your face.
Oh, and I'm right next to her too. Hmm.
Just kind of tilt my head to the side. Be like, you're a curious creature.
And as those spores kind of hit you in the face, you begin to feel that connection creeping into your mind again, but sort of taking hold this time. Humanoids.
Shakes the hand a little bit, like,
The only one who can hear this is Nirix.
Okay.
Not corrupted. Strange looking.
Really? What are you normally used to?
Fae. Corpses. None so healthy.
Well, healthy is to be determined, but yes.
You lack any fungal spores in your body.
So far, we intend to keep it that way as we mush through this forest.
What is its goal?
To plant a seed and supposedly return life to this desolate wasteland. Restore it.
Valiant efforts.
Still a work in progress.
Difficult.
Very. Not impossible.
Do you guys get the sense that they're having a conversation that we're not a part of? You keep looking at each other weird.
Nirix, are you speaking to it in your mind, or are you actually talking to it?
If it's talking to me in my mind, I'm returning the favor and speaking to it telepathically. So yeah, we're just having a staring contest.
Yeah.
Like occasionally Nirix seems to be doing the body motions that she does when she talks, but she's not talking.
I think that blue spore stuff might have been their way of communicating.
Ooh.
As the giant bear begins to like shift and morph as this creature drops its wild shape, and now standing like face to face with Nirix is this probably about like 6.5 foot tall bioluminescent myconid, glowing in like soft blues and greens. Its eyes just like this like dull white pool.
Your form is quite curious.
Scares predators.
It's fair. The invisibility helps. We did not mean to disturb you. We did not realize you were here. We were just looking for a place to rest for now. As we
Kind of.
continue forward on our journey.
It shakes its head. You have assisted me. Trapped.
How so?
Sort of like motions off into the distance where like that gray fungal growth is at.
You're not able to push through it.
Correct. The spores in the area held me at bay. You
Are
seek
they a type of poison that you cannot inhale?
corruption, forced change, enslavement.
Are those common around here?
No. Not.
Someone set them here.
Origin unknown. Though new to the forest. It only affected this area.
How new?
Year or two.
Well, for what I do naturally and what I wear, I should be able to have some resistance to possibly assist and at least break away one part to set you free.
Oh, I am free now. He looks down the path to like the destroyed fungal growth that you had recently done battle with.
They were encircled by it.
Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't here last episode, guys. Sorry.
Fun.
Okay, yeah, no, it's cool. Okay, yeah, well, at least that one area is clear. Again, with what I have, I could clear out another path if you prefer another path.
You seek the mother tree for your seed.
That's what I remember what it was called.
Others.
I may be of assistance.
Nerix, is it friendly, or are you guys having like a threatening showdown right now?
Oh.
It looks over and sort of just gives like a mock sigh. I have been rude. And it just like vibrates its body as it lets out like a cloud of these blue spores across the group.
And as it's doing that, Nerix will say, friendly.
Oh, that's good. Sometimes it's hard to tell with your expressions.
By the way, breathe it in, you're fine.
Okay.
Just not too much, your brain will turn to mush.
Okay.
Kelly finally takes in a breath after holding her breath for the last 5 minutes.
Apologies, I did not mean to be rude.
Oh, hi. That's nice to hear you. I hope my sister wasn't being rude.
No, your leader has informed me of your goal.
I mean, I wouldn't call her our leader, but yeah, that's great. I'm glad that she informed you.
She's the leader of this expedition, at least. He knows this place, sort of.
I mean, if you're more comfortable calling me a guide, sure. Or at least an informant of the area, but ouch. Yes, I'm not rude, thank you. I'm just blunt.
True.
Sarah makes like a okay.
I don't sugarcoat shit.
Whatever you say says.
Anyway, pleasure to
I always
make
thought
your
of us more as
acquaintance.
like a collective, but anyway.
Alright.
Well, apparently it's been trapped here. And after making a path through here, through those gray fungus and the spores, we're able to set it free.
Well, the
Yeah,
gray
just-
ones were dead.
Kind of just shakes off some more.
What do you mean?
That's not.
The things we battled earlier. The live ones.
Yes, the live ones.
With the giant attached to it? Yeah, okay. we've killed those, yeah. That helped you.
It helped me awaken.
That's good. How are you feeling? You feeling okay? A lot of stuff around here gets sick.
It kind of just looks off for a moment, almost as if it's like analyzing itself. I have no wounds or diseases about me.
Good. That's good. Well, Nairn
is-
told you about... Sorry, go ahead, sis.
Let's say, what is your purpose here, by chance?
This is my home.
Well, predator, protector. You're one of the few intelligent beings we've seen that's not made of wood.
Nurturer.
I like that.
Would our business disturb that in any way, or perhaps make it better? Depends on what you nurture, of course.
It sort of like looks around to like the trees and the various nature-like structures in the area. I nurture the forest. My collective and I
Dead or
were
alive?
tasked with keeping the balance.
Oh,
Work's probably been real hard lately.
Just gives a very slow nod.
We're trying to fix that. If we
Yes,
can.
your leader said you were in possession of a seed for the mother tree.
That's correct. Special one.
I can lead you to the grove, but I cannot pass it myself.
Any help would really be great. We do need to rest, though. Is this a good spot? Would you like to join us for camp? Or may we join you?
He just lifts his arms as just like this giant like fungal wall just encircles the area and then domes over.
Oh, that's nice.
And as like the last part of the dome closes over the circled wall that he's made, there are some bioluminescent mushrooms and moss along the walls that sort of light up the area.
So pretty.
You may rest here.
Many
Sorry,
thanks.
I'm sorry. I was
was
gonna
just-
say, go ahead.
I just said many thanks. That was it.
Got it. Sarah uses a little druid craft just to make some of the bioluminescence glow in like a little light show pattern. She's just having fun with it. It's just like,
Druidcraft light show.
well, I appreciate it. I look back at the group and go, suppose this is the best spot?
I like it.
Extra protection?
It's great. I love mushrooms. I mean, the nice
50-50.
ones.
I'm kind of 50-50 on the mic and this, but yeah, this works.
You needn't worry. I will not try to mold your living bodies into gardens.
You prefer dead things anyway, don't you?
Indeed. If you were to die, I could not give the same guarantee, as life must continue.
That's the cycle.
I'm gonna do just like a general insight check on this guy. I don't think he's lying to us. He doesn't seem hostile in any way. But you're a stranger. I don't know you. What are your intentions?
You're a giant telepathic mushroom.
Sorry,
That
instantly.
you're a
one
giant
That's
blinding luminescent mushroom man.
Sorry, was like pretty natural, like it.
That's gonna be an 18 insight. Just looking for the honesty in their words, or any like subtle hints of maybe veiled hostility.
He's very dull and dry in his delivery, though his words don't seem to be trying to mask any sort of deceit or hostility towards you. It's just the way that he talks and handles himself is very dull and straightforward.
Okay, yeah, that's the vibe I was getting, but gotta be sure.
Doesn't hurt.
What can we call you? I'm Syra.
Syra.
Of the clan Morningstar.
As you say that, you see like the mushroom, like the bioluminescence on his body begin to like brighten up just a little bit. We have no need for names.
Understood. Do you identify each other through mental images?
No. We know one another. We know our tasks.
Okay.
So you
If-
can cure certain parts of the force, then I take it.
Indeed.
Or nurture.
And there's a moment where you can feel him almost peering into your minds, trying to like get any sort of information that he can from it, as he seems to be struggling with a word. To make it easier, you may call me Gardener.
I like it. Thank you. We, our people, place a great importance upon names. It's useful to our communication.
Flesh-based humanoids seem to be enthralled with a sense of self. We as a collective have no need for such things.
Understandable.
Makes sense considering how you have certain functions and duties and have a mutual understanding of it. We appreciate the extra protection.
Greatly.
Intended or no.
I find sleeping in a domicile is a bit more relaxing. Tends to keep most predators at bay.
Very true.
Hard to smell us.
And see.
Hmm?
If you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down then.
You got
Sure.
food, Ranju? Anything good?
That would be in the house.
Rations
fine.
it is.
Yep, rations is good.
Oh, the
100%.
little tube you have.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes, there's enough room for you to use it if you wish.
Could be useful.
If you want.
She'll go ahead and click it and put it in a more reasonable spot this time.
And sort of click it and throw it out, and the house poofs open.
She'll go ahead and start cooking up a storm.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the 6 pounds of worm steak that I've got tucked away in my bag of holding, because that's gonna go bad in like a day, so it's got to be used.
Just put it in here, and she puts it in like the cold storage area.
It's a bag of holding, not a freezer of holding.
No, it's a freezer of
Bag of
colding.
holding.
It's a freezer of
And-
God
colding.
damn it.
The freezer in the house is good for that, but this is being sitting in my bag now. for a
Yeah.
couple days. So it has to be eaten now. It's not going to keep even if
She'll check it first before she puts it in there.
Go ahead and
Okay.
go ahead and give me a survival check on that.
All
Oh,
right.
please be okay. I need the worm steak.
Nat Kraken 28.
28.
Hey.
I can make it work.
You can make it work. It is literally on its last hours before it goes from that
Oh, dear.
edible
All right.
to like you're gonna get food poisoning.
Gonna have to speed up the oven. All right.
Sarah also shoves her 2 pounds of the worm steak. Oh, I forgot about that. 'Cause she has food
there's
with
teeth
her
marks
mom.
on yours.
Oh, yeah, that's... Sometimes when I wild shape, I get hungry. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So yeah, she'll start cooking up dinner and make sure everyone gets a well-fed meal.
While you're cooking dinner,
Mm.
I'm gonna kind of just like approach you and very slyly, like hand a package over to you that's just something wrapped in like butcher paper. Do you think you could cook this up for me, but like secretly?
She's gonna open it up casually.
It's 5 pounds of rabbit meat.
She doesn't want Juniper to see.
I can make that work, and she'll just put it in the fridge.
The whole reason why you're cooking it now is because Juniper's not here.
She's gonna make enough for she's not trying to waste it. She'll at least make enough for tonight, make some for rations tomorrow, and hopefully none of it goes bad.
Anything that you can do with it, use as much of it as you can, because it's just as old as the worm steak, so it's not going to last much
That was
longer.
a long time ago. Holy shit!
It feels like it was a long time ago, but it was only a few days ago.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. All right, and she'll actually set some aside for like jerky, some for like just all sorts of like salted meats, and gonna turn to Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a bad thing to ask for certain mushrooms for cooking?
I don't know.
Sarah, you know the mushrooms that are in the cave or in the little dome at the moment are not edible. They are
Those are not
they are
edible.
severely toxic.
Real bad to eat those.
I mean, that's fair. Okay.
But
Fair enough.
if you have mushrooms from somewhere else to eat, I don't. If you're asking if that's like offensive or not, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, considering what I was just given, I don't think offense is really the problem. And she continues cooking. So yeah, everyone gets worm steak, rabbit, venison, and some mixed vegetables that she somehow still has from where was that? It was
You literally have a fully stocked kitchen that like resupplies itself.
yes, and every slot that we makes another never-ending slot of fruits and veggies.
Well, not necessarily. Any of the food that you bring in, the outside food, is only limited.
Right. So yeah, there's definitely the basics for like stews and
All right,
hot roast.
give me that cooking roll then.
All right,
Good old
let's see if
survival
it's-
check.
See if it's any good as the last one.
39.
No, 28 was the highest I could get. That's still pretty good though. 23.
23. Good. Fuck are my percentiles?
You want me to roll them or?
Nope, I got them. I'm just trying to look for. I'm just trying to look for like these ones because these dice have been flying all over the place apparently.
They've been rolling low. What?
I think I have something on the. I don't know, Callie, if you Fox, if you noted it, but what the worm steak did extra, like I think my notes just say it has an additional effect when we eat it.
I might have something in my notes.
I don't know if you have more
I did
details.
not write that down.
I hope one of you noted it.
Mine just says it has additional effects. I'm like, great, super useful, Amanda.
Makes cooking better. Makes cooking better. Because I know it doesn't do anything raw unless you're, an animal.
I feel like it had like a, temporary hit points or something like that when you ate it.
I did not write anything down about the worm steak that I had.
Yeah.
And
It has
I don't-
additional effect to eating. That's all I put.
It's
Awesome.
extra delicious.
Not
Why-
great with my notes there.
Why do I have that written down?
Like, why
All
he
right,
does
so
it.
for this meal, each of you is going to get an extra hit die to use for short rests or any sort of abilities that you have that require a hit die to be used for the next
Cool.
24 hours.
Okay.
D8 set aside.
68s and 66s. Or 5d6s. Yeah, math.
We use it like a bardic inspiration, or
Um,
how can it be used?
so it's pretty much if like, say you were to take a short rest, you would be able to use that extra hit dice in that pool, or
Okay.
you can use, if you have any abilities that like you have to expend a hit die to use,
Oh,
you
I
can
see.
like, you'll have an extra thing in that pool you'll have an extra hit die in that pool to use.
Okay.
So instead of having like 10d8 for your hit die at this moment, you have 11, or for you would have 12.
Cool. Thank you, Reiju.
And no vision. No problem. She's gonna wander into the garage and just kind of hang off of that bike lift / hammock that we had.
A good old hammock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Nice.
not going to sleep inside this time. I'm actually going to sleep out in the dome.
Okay.
Doing that too. You head out there and yeah. Sarah's gonna turn into her cyber cat form, and cat is gonna curl up on top of her, and I'm gonna sit outside too. I wanted to do that too. I like the mushrooms. I like the lights.
Yeah.
So cat is gonna disappear after a couple more hours, and I'll stay in wild shape for 5 hours from this point. So the end of my sleep will be in Syra normal shape. But
All right. Is anybody else wanting to do anything through the night, or are you good to move on to the next day?
I'm going to clamber up onto the roof of the house and just meditate up there for a couple hours.
Okay.
And then I'll be going inside the house to sleep.
Okay. So while everybody does their thing, has a nice meal, and starts getting ready for bed, let's go ahead and take a quick break here so we can get up, stretch our legs, get something to drink, and all that fun stuff, and we will be right back.
from the days of the early suns. Through walls of lost belief, laid waste and buried deep. Summer to be set to fall. But there's no fear that lives inside this soul. Yeah.
Okay, we are back, but unfortunately, we are going to end it here. I'm feeling a little under the weather as it is. Like I said at the start of the stream, I didn't get much sleep last night, so my body is revolting against me and pretty much trying to kill me at the moment. So, can you guys hear me? Because it is very silent.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay,
Sorry.
I
Yeah, we
just
can hear you,
I
man.
wanted to make sure I unmuted everyone.
We're
But-
just letting you
That's fair.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah, no be
That's
dying
fair.
rule, exactly. So we're gonna end it a little early today. I'm sorry about that. We'll be back on Monday
First.
with more Tricorn Isles. We're doing Tricorn next on Monday, right?
Yes, as
Yes.
long as no one has any plans, because it is a holiday.
That is true. We need to check to see if anybody has plans for Labor Day.
Yep.
But if there are no plans for Labor Day, we'll be back on Monday for Tricorn Isles, and then on Thursday for Tortor, I think. Or is this the week off for it?
As of right now, it may change, but as of right now, Totor is bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
So
Okay.
it's coincidentally, to make it easy, it's the same week as Withered Ways. But yeah, no, it's that we don't have any for next week. But tonight, hopefully not too terribly late. I know I said 8 o'clock, but it might be closer to 9 because of a birthday party. We are having Behold Lore. If you're still feeling healthy, Rojan, if not, we can always push it to Sunday evening.
I should be fine.
Okay.
As time passes, it's just this is the whole reason why I don't do 24-hour streams anymore, because it just kills me the next day. So
Too old for this shit, Rojan.
exactly. I'm too old for this shit. That's why Extra Life now is 2 12-hour streams, because I can handle that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I should be fine. If not, I'll let you guys know in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if not, if I'm good, we will be live tonight with the return of Behold Lore, to where we're gonna be talking about Tricorn Isles and all that fun stuff. If you have any questions you want to ask, there is a Twitter post for it. You could also ask it in the OOC section, or you could just ask it live in chat tonight. And so that'll be like around 8 or 9 p.m. Pacific time. We'll keep everyone updated on that. And then next Saturday, we'll be back with another episode of Wayward Wanderers. And then we'll loop the start of the following week after that with another episode of Mass Effect. But for now, we are going to head on off again. I'm sorry that I got to do this, but it's not. It's not a good thing for a campaign when the DM is running on like 15% mental ability.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Everybody gets 50 magic items.
No, we can keep going. Let's go.
Yeah, so for now, we're going to head on out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning on in, and we'll catch you tonight for Behold Lore.